Now we're going to discuss different areas that aimswebPLUS can be used to monitor early numeracy and math skill. Number naming fluency is an assessment at the kindergarten level that can be used for benchmark and progress monitoring in the fall, winter, and spring. For this assessment, you will need a printout for the students. There is also a Spanish version available. Students will verbally name numbers up to 20. They are scored by the number of items they correctly read within 1 minute. If a student is unable to correctly name the first 5 numbers, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum number of points is 80. Quantity total fluency is another math assessment. This is at the kindergarten level, which can be given in the fall, winter, and spring for benchmark and progress monitoring. For this assessment, students will need a printout of the assessment. There is also a Spanish version of this assessment. Students will be shown boxes containing blue dots. Students will have to state the total number of dots within the individual box or the pair of boxes. The maximum number of dots in a set is 10. Students are scored by the total number they correctly state within 1 minute. If a student is unable to correctly answer the first 5 items, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum score on this assessment is 38 points. Quantity difference fluency, which is a kindergarten assessment which can be given in winter and spring. This benchmark and progress monitoring assessment is also available in Spanish. Students will need a printout of this assessment. Students will be shown a pair of boxes that have blue dots and red dots. Students have to state how many more blue dots are needed to match the number of red dots. This assessment is 1 minute and students are scored on the total number they correctly solve. If a student is unable to correctly answer the first 5 questions, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum number of points on this assessment is 24. Concepts and applications can be given to kindergarten and first grade students in the fall, winter, and spring. They will need a printed version of this assessment. It also has a digital version for second grade up. This assessment is only for benchmarking. There is also a Spanish version available. For younger students, they will be shown images, and they have to mentally solve a variety of math problems that the teacher reads. The test items are scored by the questions answered correctly. This test is approximately 7 to 12 minutes for kindergarten and first grade students to take, but it is untimed. If a student is unable to answer the first 5 questions, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum number of points is 25 for kindergarten and first grade students. For second grade up, this assessment is given online. Students will read and solve multiple choice 1- and 2-step word problems. Each grade level has content that is appropriate for the grade level. Students are allowed to use scratch paper when solving these questions, but not a calculator. This is an untimed test that can take up to 30 minutes to complete. The maximum number of points on this assessment depends on the grade, but it varies from 29 to 31 points. Number comparison fluency pairs is a first grade assessment that is given in the fall, winter, spring that can be used for benchmarking and progress monitoring. For this assessment, students will need a printout, and there is also a Spanish version available. Students are shown a pair of numbers. Students will verbally identify which number is larger within a box. The number of questions they correctly answer is scored within 1 minute. If a student is unable to correctly answer the first 5 items, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum number of points on this assessment is 50. Math Facts Fluency 1 Digit is a first grade assessment that can be given as a benchmark in fall, winter, and spring, and is also available for progress monitoring. Students will need a printout of this assessment, and there is also a Spanish version available. Students will mentally solve addition and subtraction facts within 10. Students are scored on the number they correctly answer within 1 minute. If a student is unable to answer the first 5 items, you will discontinue this assessment. The maximum score on this assessment is 40 points. Math Facts Fluency 10, first grade assessment that can be benchmarked in the winter and spring. It is also available for progress monitoring. On this assessment, students will need a paper version, and there is a Spanish version available. Students will be shown a variety of addition and subtraction problems within 100 that they either have to add or subtract 10 from. Students will be given 1 minute to verbally answer these questions. The number they correctly answered is how they earn their points. If a student is unable to correctly answer the first 4 items, you discontinue the assessment. The maximum score on this assessment is 32 points. Number Comparison Fluency Triads is an assessment at the 2nd grade level up that can be benchmarked in the fall, winter, and spring. It is also available for progress monitoring. This assessment is completely online. There is a Spanish version available of this assessment. Students will be given a screen like this. They will have to compare 3 numbers in a system. Each item is presented in a triad form. The students have to determine whether the top number is closer to the value on the right or left or exactly between the 2 numbers. This assessment is 3 minutes and students are scored for the correct number they correctly answer. The maximum number of points on this assessment is 40. Mental Computation Fluency is a 2nd grade up assessment that can be used for benchmarking in the fall, winter, spring, and used for progress monitoring. This assessment is completely online. There is a Spanish version available. Students will be shown a screen like this. They have to solve multiple choice computation problems that are equivalent to the grade level they are taking. Some require 2 steps. The number they correctly answer is how they earn their points. This is a 4-minute assessment. The maximum number of points is 42. This is just a few of the assessments aimswebPLUS has for math. There are other assessments available from Aimsweb that you can learn about on their website.